Welcome to a journey into sight and sound. How are we doing, guys?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, how is everyone?
I'm good, mate.
Good.
How
I'm
are
good.
you?
All good, raring to go.
Si's looking very well groomed tonight. I'm
I'm really not.
I'm just gonna put it out there. The brush has been busy today
Because he's worth it.
because he is worth it. Bless him.
Should we let people in on the discussion that we was having the other day about where we kept calling him the Ginger
It's
Dudley
a
Witch?
warlock.
And he was saying it's a warlock. Because he's male, he's a warlock, he's not a witch.
Oh
To
my
be fair,
God.
you was
And I'm
right.
not from Dudley.
The
And he's off
the
from
warlock
Dudley.
of Dudley.
All right, let's have a look and see who's in the comments. All right. When I can get it to work, that's better. Yeah, this laptop, mate, seriously, it needs to go in the bin, I swear. Right,
You look good
Oh, me or Si?
though. The picture of you looks awesome. It's like
Oh,
nice and crisp.
That's not the webcam on the laptop. That's a separate one, so it is much better. If it was my laptop one, it's terrible. So we got a Pixel Plug. Right, Pixel Plug, how you doing? And then we got my youngest. Hello, Connor.
Hey, Connor.
I'm keeping quiet. Mate of mine who used to work with, James. You right, James?
I
How you
thought that
doing?
said Reverend Cat. I quickly looked at it and I was like, Reverend? Okay, it's
No,
not.
trust me, he's no reverend.
Well,
Oh, look, there's Scott.
there's Scott.
And there's Si,
This guy.
the Dudley Warlock. Sorry, I nearly said witch.
Hey,
I'm still going to call him a
And then
witch.
there's Paul. You're still going to call him a witch, did you say?
Absolutely.
Oh,
well, I've been called worse.
Uh,
I was going to say I could change it a little bit, but that'd be harsh.
it's when I shared that picture of Grot Bag. That was the other week. Sorry, Si. I'm sorry, Si.
Look at
That's
this,
all right, I'm
Si.
used to
I
it
can
by
see
now.
the chat this time.
Yeah, I can.
It's better, isn't it, when you can? It is much better.
Yeah, of course.
What we cooking tonight?
What we cooking? I've just swallowed that cherry bakewell. It was only a little bowl. That's quite nice. All dear.
Pork scratchings.
I had quiche tonight. Nice
Ooh.
quiche. Nothing
Pizza.
too heavy.
Are they halal pork scratchings? Just out of interest.
Do you know what? Who knows these
Uh,
days? I don't think so.
vegan.
It's not a pig, isn't it? So pig skin.
Retro gamer.
Have you all eaten too many chocolate Easter eggs then?
I haven't had
Oh.
any.
I've had one.
Uh,
Kids get them all.
I haven't had any. Mrs.
I've
didn't
got-
even get me one.
I've had a few,
Oh.
mate. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've had a couple.
You didn't get an
It's
Easter egg,
five.
but you have got an Amiga Mini, though. I think
Yes.
that's better than an Easter egg.
And I did actually get to play it for an hour today. Finally got a
Yay.
chance.
Nice
Nice.
one.
Finally. I was killing it on Stunt Car Racer. Like, really was.
I wonder if you can link
well,
it, really. What did you think
No,
of the
you-
controller, Lee?
It's not bad, actually. I think it's got quite a nice weight to it, and it's very clicky. It's, not a bad controller on that. There's Goldtooth. How you doing, Goldtooth?
Hello.
Whoa, what's going on here? That's it.
Oh, who
Oh,
knows?
my laptop froze for a second.
If it goes down on your side, Lee, we're screwed.
If this goes down, I'm going to smash this laptop. I promise you that. Like, I'm
You'll
sick
be
of
deleting
it.
the stream.
You might see like a live stream of me just smashing the crap out of it.
You need a second camera
Uh,
facing another angle to capture what happened. You know, that's what we want to see.
Got Retro Skelly in the house.
Hope he's
From
enjoying his
Cyprus.
holiday. He's away
Hopefully,
in
North
Cyprus.
Cyprus. Hopefully, North Cyprus.
North?
Northern
Called
Gamer.
the Turkish side. The Turkish side. Hello.
I wasn't allowed on that side when I was there.
No, you wouldn't be allowed, mate. You feel free.
You went. You went.
Billy.
Car Street Gamer. Right,
Yes.
okay. Oh, hang on. What's my boy put here? He's put a comment.
Oh,
Dad, you didn't.
Dad,
get
you didn't get her one either. That's a good point, actually. I didn't.
Grassing you up on live.
Hey.
He stitched me up, and
He bubbled you up live.
Oh, right. Okay. Should we
Oh,
get
nice
Alex
glass,
in,
Paul.
shall we?
Oh, yep.
Oh, yeah. Wonder where you got that from.
yeah.
Who knows?
Right. Should we get Alex in, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Alex in.
Evening, guys.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Hey, Alex, you raring to go? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for 2 streams in 3
Raring,
days?
but I'm here.
Oh, I forgot he was on the quiz as well. He'd be
I
busy.
can't
yeah.
wait
Oh,
for the
yeah.
quiz. I can't wait for the quiz.
Oh, every time I see him in the bottom right corner, I'm waiting for a load of questions. You're not an ex-copper, are you, Paul?
No, definitely not. Uniform service, but a proper one.
Yeah, he actually worked for a living. Paul did.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
No, no.
Easy. Skype to survive.
That could be a new program, that. Right. Shall we go through our questions? Right. So we'll put Mr. Chef on big screen. 1, 2, 3. Here he is.
Hello. Yes, so tonight, all the way from Essex, my question is, what was your reason for YouTube? Was it just a matter of you're bored and you thought, yeah, I'm just going to have a look at it and see what's happening? Or did you focus in on the idea of making your channel, growing your channel, or meeting like-minded people? What was your reason for YouTube?
Very good.
All right, I tried. I mean, you know.
Right. Mr. Sega Zombie. Let's
Ooh.
find his question. There it is.
Very attractive.
Yeah. When is retro gaming too retro for you? Now, I'm asking this question
Nice.
because in the shop, I'm getting a lot of people saying, oh, I grew up with a Commodore or a Spectrum, but I can't play them now. And I just want to know where everyone is
understand
at
with the Commodore,
with their
though.
retro. Yeah, you can understand with Commodore, definitely. But
Oh, had to get it in there, didn't he?
but yeah, no. What generation would you go back to? And then where do you draw the line where you think, hold on, this is just unplayable or too basic? Where is your retro gaming stop?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Yeah, good question.
Very good question.
Right.
It's amazing what you get off the Japanese crackers.
Is that my question below?
It is, yeah.
Change your glasses. Change your glasses.
Take a deep breath first.
By vocals. If your gaming space was for life, what would be your ideal gaming setup stroke games room?
Nice. Nice.
Want to elaborate on it a little bit, Alex, or is that it?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's a slight caveat. You know, you're not a multi-millionaire, so you can't have kind of like everything. So you've got a space, you know, it may be the space that you've got now, and it's not quite as you'd like it. You know, that's it, really. I mean, it's a fairly straightforward question.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, Alex. Right, here we go. The Dudley Warlock.
Hold up. This will be good. This will be good.
When casting spells,
I should roll some dice, shouldn't I?
I should have done that for a
Honestly.
joke, shouldn't I? I should have done that.
Have I got a hat that I can put on as well? Yeah. My question is Seal Games. What is your opinion on Seal Games? Are you a fan of them? Should games be opened and enjoyed? What do you think of the pricing of Seal Games, especially like with graded games as well? So yeah, just want to discuss that and put it out there. What is people's opinion on sealed and graded games?
Cool. Thanks, Si. Right, shrink you back down. And Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paul. That's what the
Mr.
guy in
Paul.
Chinese calls me. Mr. Paul.
Is he Chinese or is he Chinese Scottish?
Could that be an interesting accent, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't like to assume anyone's anything these days, otherwise you get into trouble. So I've no idea.
Yeah.
He looks like he
Walk away, Paul.
may come from there. I don't know, whatever.
You said you walked away and then you didn't.
My question is for you guys and people in the chat. I want to know, what are your least favorite videos on YouTube? So everyone's got like their own thing on this. Like some people hate like shorts. Some people don't really like channel updates, for instance, things like that. So yeah, which ones do you avoid at all costs?
Can I just say now as well that you can tell Paul's been practicing his voiceovers because that sounded like a voice for radio. That did.
Yeah, it did.
Very
It did.
I have been doing my voiceover today, sat right here on tomorrow's video. Yep, you're right.
Very Alan Partridge like.
Well, thank you very much.
Was that Alex?
I was going to say Terry Wogan. He's very Terry.
Well, don't swear. Terry Wogan's only been. You can only use his name very rarely. He is the pinnacle. The pinnacle.
Right.
With Michael Aspel.
I wanted one of those long microphones. You know, the really long ones. Get one for YouTube, and
everyone's got one of these days, though, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the really thin ones that you had. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, dodgy thing. Right, I do have a question, and we'll do it if we get time. Do I give it away now?
No, leave it to the end.
No,
in case it's...
we'll leave it. If we get time, then we'll go into it.
Yeah, you can always use it next time if you don't say.
Yeah.
Like someone else had to once.
Acting like he did it on purpose.
We've got so much time left to the end of the stream. We couldn't figure out why.
Yeah. What's this? Looking for some great topics tonight. That's from Roger Retro Gamer. Retro Skelly, what are your least favourite videos on YouTube? What's that? Mine. I just realised that, yeah.
I'll make some. He's just as bad as me.
Yeah. Right, okay. So that's pretty much the chat caught up, I think. Right, so let's jump into the first question then. Take it away, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, so I think I've mentioned this before on my channel about the reason why I got into YouTube. I remember specifically buying a Mega Drive 2 console from the car boot, and I was having trouble with it turning on. And when I did get it to turn on, I took it apart and cleaned it and did the best I thought I could. And I went on to YouTube. YouTube was obviously quite early then, because I mentioned to you guys that this November will be 10 years that I've actually been on YouTube. I got it wrong. I thought I was going to be 11 years this year. So 10 years this November. So anyway, it would have been about 11 years, 10 years ago, technically, that I would have been looking, was going to store car boots all the time, pretty much, to be honest with you. My kids are still quite little. They would have been like proper nippers. So yeah, I bought this Mega Drive, couldn't get it to work. I found YouTube. Found a few channels, saw that there was a group of people who were similar, like-minded to me, who were either up for a crack. Like there's a few right at the start, and I can see his face, but I can't think of his bloody name. But there was lots of people who I used to follow and who I used to really like, and I enjoyed their content because it was rough and raw. It wasn't like now some of it's a little bit too clean cut. Very gimmicky, very cheesy, you know, like we're an American TV show. I like a little bit of roughage, you know what I mean? Sai, tonight, I'm telling you, mate, very rough. I love it. And no, yeah, it's just like one of them. I really got into it because I wanted to meet people. You know, I've said before, a lot of my pals, mainly into golf, football, going to the pub, which I don't mind doing. I've got nothing against that, but it wasn't really my thing. So yeah, that's the main reason why I got into YouTube, because I was trying to fix a Mega Drive. So blame that Mega Drive 2, wherever it is now. That's the reason why you've got me on YouTube, you filthy animals. So yeah.
Well, if it was being repaired by you, it's probably in the tip somewhere. So
I probably sold it to another YouTube and it's gone bang or something. So
you didn't swap it on Swap Shop then.
I was going to say that was why the Swap Shop was invented. That Mega Drive.
Next question.
All right, Scott, take it away.
Similar reasons, really. I started differently to some of you guys. I started on Facebook in the sort of like beginning of the retro sort of gaming groups. And it was Gruss Newton and Pete on a retro tip. I knew them guys really well, and Sega Saturn lads, another one, Scott, and they were like hassling me for about 2 years before I even actually started my channel to get involved with YouTube, because they were seeing my collection grow, because I was doing an awful lot on Galaxy, Sega, and Retro Realm at the time. And they were like, look, reach out to the YouTube community. You know, it's more personal. You get to meet people better than you would on sort of Facebook. And that's the main reason I done it. Was to sort of like document my journey in collecting. And two, really, it's just like an extension of my hobby, sharing my hobby, my passions with everyone else. And just meeting like-minded people, and it's worked. You know, I've met some fantastic friends, all of you included, you know, in this journey. It's been absolutely amazing. So I've never looked back. Yeah, and I've reached my goal really on YouTube, was to meet fellow people that just love retro video games as much as I do.
Are you including Paul in that when you say us? Because I'm just wondering.
Of course, yeah.
love you, Paul.
Right, Alex.
Mission to slack off everyone tonight, and you, Lee.
I'm sorry. I love you all. I've had a few beers. It's like a Sunday. Come on.
Yeah, why not? Right, Alex.
My turn. Okay. What was your reason to start YouTube? I guess about 8 years ago. Well, I was on UK VAT, which is like the arcade forum, really, before I was on YouTube. And I had, if you look at some of my early videos, there are really a lot of the early arcades that I was collecting at the time and restoring. So really, I just wanted to document them, because there was no videos on YouTube of Nintendo's Space Launcher, Space Fever, Space Firebird, Sheriff, you know, Sky Skipper. There was nothing even on the internet of a lot of these games. So really it was documenting the games for the forum, and then it was just a fun thing to do. You know, I wasn't really expecting anything else from it other than documenting it. But then there was a couple of people like Tootie in the beginning. I mean, he used to comment on all my early stuff, bless him. He just noticed all the other stuff I had in the background. Just said, "Oh, show us your Super Nintendo collection." So I started showing that, and it just kind of snowballed from there, really, you know. And I've just been kind of just plodding along with it, you know, with no real goals to get anywhere. It's always been a hobby for me. And if I'm not in the mood for it, like I haven't done a video for a month now, I won't do a video. But yeah, it's always been a hobby. And I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed doing YouTube.
I have to ask though, when did the cream cakes come into it though?
The cream cake.
When did the cream cakes become part of your YouTube?
Oh, I don't know.
We're always there.
Really. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. It was my favourite YouTuber at the time was John's Arcade.
Oh,
and he used to do the garage eggs. I don't know if you ever watched him. But he used to go into a garage in America. You get garage eggs. They're just eggs in pickle. You just buy them off the shelf. They're the most grotesque thing. I could never buy it. Not from a garage. But he used to do videos of him eating them.
It's a bit.
It just cracked me up, you know. And he came over to London. I made sure he had a Scotch egg. I said, "John, we've got to do a video of you eating a Scotch egg." Nice. So he never had a Scotch egg before. And then I just thought, I'm going to do something silly like that. And I just did cakes. And then my partner started decorating my face with cake. And people started chucking cake in my face. And it got to a point where else can I go with this? You know, I couldn't go any further with it. So I just stopped it. You know, it just got a bit silly. But it was all a bit of fun. So I can laugh at myself. I don't care what people think. It's all a bit of fun and games, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Well, weird thing of this is I've actually made videos on this, normally the fireside videos, because the main reason why I started doing YouTube videos was to help with me with anxiety in lockdown. I never thought of it as in I want to promote the channel. I never wanted to think of it as like, I didn't even know about the retro gaming community, if you know what I mean, that was out there. It was just, I felt very, very isolated, and with the anxiety I was getting, it was like from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. And by doing those videos, I think the early ones were like 5-6 minutes, but it was the the planning before. It was the thinking about what we're going to do. It was the editing afterwards or uploading it. That for half an hour a day shut that anxiety off. It really did. But then it has snowballed from there. I say, like, for the first year, there was never any real direction. But over the past 6 months or whatever, I've really found a real nice groove to be in, if you know what I mean, and enjoying. I've always enjoyed the videos that I've done, but I'm making videos about games that I really like, if you know what I mean. It's just it's weird how it's evolved. It started from just a wanting to help me get through the day, you know. And I mean, I knew Scott before doing YouTube. I've met him a few times before, and it was always thinking, oh, that big YouTuber, if you know what I mean. That's how it felt. And to be sitting here on live streams and everything with all you guys, I think from that, it's absolutely amazing. So that is pretty much where my journey started, and where it ends up, who knows?
Yeah, I do remember you doing a video on that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I do like my fireside videos. They're always it's when I got something on my mind, or so the weird thing is doing the fireside videos become my going out when we're in lockdown. So it was like I used to have a lot of fire outside, have a few beers, and it felt like I was going out. And then the natural progression to making fireside videos, I thought everyone would hate them because you can't see me properly. But it turns out people liked that light and everything else. And so
original. No one else has done it.
You haven't eaten that the baked bean tin yet?
Yeah, the baked
no,
bean.
I did. Do you know what? The worst thing is when I did my last fireside video and I was halfway through recording, I went, shit.
Yeah.
So how much furniture are you burning off then, Sire? Like, is there a reason why? I mean, like, your missus had enough and she's burning the furniture.
I bet where he works, they've got no furniture left, have they? They've got. Where's that bed gone? Wasn't there a bed in there? I thought that was a double room. No, nothing to see here.
But it is. I must admit, it has become a big part of the actual channel. That, and it's so much fun to do. And I will be doing some live fireside videos soon. And hopefully, it'd be great to get you guys.
Everyone does their own thing, and that's
exactly. As Scott always said, YouTube is about you, and it's like where it started. But as long as you, I think, don't try and imitate other people and everything else, and just do and be yourself. Exactly. You know what I mean? I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Paul.
So, I used to be a lot more active on Instagram. I mean, Commodore UK thing that I was doing on them, and I used to have a Hit Squad one as well because I was like heavily into Hit Squads, and obviously I used to watch Scott and Paul, Mr. Bads, and David plays Retro Games Badly, Dave Birdsall, Jay, Cybersnake. No, you don't collect Hit Squad, so no.
Sorry, I got confused there.
I was heavily at the Hit Squad, so a lot of time I spent watching these guys, and I was collecting them as well. And I jacked in rugby. I needed a new hobby. I tried fishing, and I'm absolutely horrendous at it. So
fucking talking.
I kind of thought I might be slightly better at doing this other than fishing. Time will tell, I suppose. But yeah, I was just bored during lockdown, and I thought, oh, hi, Rich. I just thought I'd give it a go. I reached out to someone, and yeah, he gave me a bit of help, and got me on my way, and here we are. It's really bizarre when you think of like 2 years ago. I was literally watching you guys on.
You weren't watching me.
Well, yeah, anyone. Because you weren't making any content.
Can we just tell Goldtooth to stay clear of Raish, please? Because I'm scared. When he starts messaging, I think he's going to turn up on your doorstep. I love him to pieces, but you must stop coming down to Essex. It's getting too much. My wife's going to find out.
That's a lovely comment from Retro Scale there.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
guys.
he did tell me this a little while ago. He's a nice guy. I've got a lot of time for him.
I've had a lot of chats with him. He's a nice guy, Matt.
He's a good guy.
Right, I suppose I better answer this.
Well,
so my reason for joining YouTube, I had no plans of it, but for a while, my youngest kept going, Dad, we should do a YouTube channel. We should do a YouTube channel. Because, you know, we liked our gaming, we like our movies, we like basically anything nerdy, which was how the channel name come about, right? Nerdy Geezer. So he kept going on about, and I kept going, no. But then, of course, when lockdown happened, I had to then shield from work because the wife was vulnerable. So we was all stuck at home, and you can only watch so many things on Netflix and Amazon Prime before you, and other streaming platforms are available, guys. But until you run out of things to watch, right? So then it didn't seem like such a bad idea, you know? Kind of similar to what Si's doing. It occupied you for a while. You had something to do. So that's really what started it. But of course, eventually we shifted more into gaming because we prefer gaming. So it just made logical sense, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much
doing it with the family, isn't it?
Yeah, and when I can with my eldest, but it's difficult because my eldest don't live with me. So yeah. The Commodore 64 video I did last week, I think it was.
Great video. That was really enjoyed
it was fun to do because I purposely didn't tell him anything, and watching him trying to load the tape in there.
Yeah, pressing that tape was funny, man.
Yeah, like Kyle thought it was just like a sensor button on the play, so he just dabbed it, and I went, "No, you got to physically push it down."
I think people forget what buttons actually were.
That was great. I've got to do that with my boy. I really have.
Definitely.
Oscar's been asking to do stuff with me like that as well, and he wants to play one of my games. And he says, "Well, if I want to play one of his games, I have to play his. You know what I mean? He'll pick a game for me to choose because he'll know I'll be terrible at it."
I mean, to them, it's like an old gramophone, I suppose, isn't it? You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, my boys had no idea what a tape was. Like, I mean, Kyle was just holding it and looking at it. He had no idea.
Well, my son, look, we had a jukebox, and my son just couldn't work out how the music got from the record to the speaker.
I must admit, I've had the same conversation.
Actually, it is weird.
Yeah.
There's a need.
I had the same conversation with my son, and he was like, "So a game comes off this thing?" As he pulled out the tape, it's like, "How's the game on it?"
Listen, let me quickly tell you this small little story. My eldest Talia, she's 18 now. She got into gaming early age. She said, "Oh, Daddy, can I play some of your old Nintendo stuff?" I said, "Yeah, cool." So I gave her the Game Boy. Right, and she's playing Mario Land 2, and she's trying to touch the screen. And I said, "So what are you doing?" She goes, "Well, I want to go on that level, Daddy." I said, "Listen, sweetheart, you do this." She went, "Oh, that's a bit basic." And she was like, I think she was 6 or 7 then, and I was like, you know what I mean? Trying to touch the screen on the old DMG Game Boy was hilarious at the time. I must admit.
Yeah.
Bless her.
Yeah, but how much did you feel like a dinosaur though when she said that to you?
I like dinosaurs, to be honest with you.
He's a Chefosaurus.
I realise kids don't even know, and I'm talking sort of like Jade's son Connor. He's been helping me in the shop, and we've been driving to work, and we keep changing. I said change the CD if you don't like it, and I passed him a CD as I was driving, and he couldn't even open the case. He's like, "How do you open it?" And he was like, "You know, his kids don't even know."
What do they think of all your VHS videos then, Scott?
Exactly. I showed them, and they were like, "What on earth is that?"
I showed Oscar a Laserdisc the other day, and he
went,
"I
was about to say that." Yeah, I was about to say that. When I set mine up, I'm going to show my kids the Laserdisc. What do you mean? You got to turn it over halfway through?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the hell was that about?
I was going to ask you actually, guys, because I know some of you guys collect VHS, don't you? I know we're going off subject a bit here, but you know, when you see an old film on a new TV and it looks grainy, it looks old, but does it look even better watching it on a VHS tape through a CRT, or does it look the same as you see these old films on the new TVs? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's nostalgia, a lot of it, because the blurriness of a CRT and the poor quality of a video, it takes all that away.
Yeah, definitely.
You you watch a film on VHS and it instantly takes it back to when you first saw that film.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a nostalgic thing, a bit like the video games, really.
Yeah.
But telling people you've got to rewind a movie before you watch it now.
You've got to watch a film through. You've got to watch VHS through a CRT. If you try and hook up to a modern TV, that looks
it'd be horrendous, wouldn't it?
I've noticed that modern TVs can't really display the blacks like in a black and white film. So
you're right.
And it's just terrible.
You got to adjust the tracking The old trapping. Oh,
We've turned into the VHS bootleggers now.
Well, it's funny you say that.
There he is.
The animal, bless
I
him.
guess that's why all the horror films are so popular, aren't they, on VHS?
Yeah.
Because they've got that grainy
Yeah.
look to them, and that's what people like, you know.
Yeah.
It's almost like an old PS1 game, The Mist.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like this comment here. Look, I used to like annoying him by saying, "Have you got any more of those big shiny records?"
Laser discs. Yeah, does no one collect laser discs here?
Do you know what? I would love to collect laser discs. The discs themselves are cheap. The players are
Yeah.
so expensive.
Yeah, they are.
I've
And
got
they
one.
break.
Yeah, I've got a Pioneer NTSC PAL unit. When the games room's done, I'm going to get it set up. I've only got 3 films. I've got Blade Runner, Terminator, and I think Jurassic Park.
It's more like an
Jurassic Park
event,
1.
though, isn't it? When you play a laser disc, you know what I mean? Well, you
Some
can
of the
sit and
early-
watch it all.
Some of the early arcade games run on laser discs.
Yeah.
Dragon's Lair, Firefox.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and they had problems from the get-go. You know,
Yeah.
they were doomed straight away because the laser
Well,
disc
Alex,
was
wasn't there
still-
some arcades that had Amiga CD32s in them running games?
I wouldn't know about that.
I'm sure in America they were
It
sent
was
over
cash
there.
machines. It
But
was
you
cash
had,
machines.
you know,
Cash
everything
machines.
in the
Yeah.
80s with these laser disc games. They thought it was the next thing, you know, this is the way it was going to go. But of course, it wasn't really. They kept breaking down, and you know,
Yeah.
operators were fed up with repairing them.
Yeah.
Funny
so-
actually. You said about laser discs in arcade machines and stuff. I mean, there was wasn't it the Atari Jaguar the cases ended up in dentist surgeries, didn't they?
Yeah,
they
put the
ring
mold-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you'll see them on the side of the wall, and they're white, and they're used for. Is it like not a drill? Is it like a?
I think it's like a
something
cleaner,
anyway.
isn't it?
I know,
Yeah, it's
I
a
know
cleaner
the
for your
Vectrex
mouth.
was used as a heart monitor.
The what?
Yeah, not the actual case, but the actual screen. The vector screen was used
Wow.
as a
Really? That I
monitor
didn't know.
in the very
Wow.
early 80s. Yeah.
Oh, I best delete that question then for Wednesday. Okay.
Good
Right.
answers, everyone. Good answers, everyone.
Yeah, fantastic. Right, shall we move on to Scott's question, which is?
Can you remember your question, Scott?
Yeah, when is retro gaming too retro for you? Now, I think this is a really interesting question because I go right back. I can play Space Invaders on the arcade. I can play the LCDs I grew up with. There's not really anything that I wouldn't give a go if I played it when I was a kid. But it's an interesting topic because I've met obviously lots of people coming through the shop and they're like, "Oh, the Spectrum or the Commodore." I had one of them, but they have no interest in playing it. You know, they go as far back to. A lot of people will only go as far back as say like the PlayStation 1 or the Dreamcast. They won't go back any further. So, you know, with me personally, it's a nostalgic driven thing. If I had an Atari 2600, then I could still play it. Obviously, not all the games. I would only play the games that I remember playing with my friends when I grew up. But it's just interesting to see your guys' views and people watching what you class as too far, you know, with your retro video games.
Have you muted yourself, Lee?
Me?
No, other Lee.
Sorry,
Awesome.
yes, I have. I was vaping. Sorry, I was trying to do it so it wasn't crackling. You know. So, same question to you, Alex.
Oh, very, very good question there, Scott. And I've had good experience with this because I had talking about games I was documenting. I don't know if you remember, I brought 2 very early Nintendo Battle Sharks
Yes, I remember that.
from
Yeah.
a German airbase in Europe. They'd sat there for 40 years. And because I was trying to collect Nintendo and, you know, go right deep into their history and stuff, I bought these 2. They come over and they run on a 16mm movie. Right. So
Wow.
So Nintendo, before they made video games, were in they made clay pigeon shooting galleries with 16mm movies. And these machines were part of that. You know, they came out of that era. And I got myself into deep water because I didn't have a clue how to fix these things. And then I thought to myself, do I really want these? This is really beyond my era. This is, for me, it all started with Space Invaders. That's where I go back to. That was the first game I ever played. So anything from there onwards, I'll play. Anything and everything. But before then, you still had video games, but they were early. They were called electrical mechanical games.
Yes.
And I remember them as a kid. They were part of the arcade back then. You know, very early pinball games as well. I mean, a lot of pinball collectors really only start their collection in the 80s, yet pinball machines go right back to the 50s. But the gameplay, what you get out of them is not as much as what you get out of the 80s. You know, and it's the same with vids as well. There's only so much playability you can get out of these really early stuff. So there is a point where I'll go, yeah, I mean, that's a museum piece and it belongs in a museum. It's not really for your arcade. I mean, and I think with video games, I mean, I can sit there and play Pong, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They actually built a new Pong machine a few years ago, and they had it. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a black table. It's not, and they're magnets. They throw the ball up and down.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And it's a fun game to play. You know, it's a simple game, and some of the simple games.
Do the arcade Pong consoles? Well, the arcade Pong machine. Does it suffer with the same with the? Do you like to get a home arcade one? It used to be good, but the analog stick in it just isn't working right anymore. Does the arcade one suffer with the same sort of like problems?
I think they're easy fix. It's quite simple.
Because I've come across so many of the Pong ones, and they all fail in very different ways. And you can imagine them being great in the day, but when the paddle's moving, like not smoothly,
I mean,
really
those early
takes
games, they're not even microchips in them. It's very early, primitive technology. It's quite easily fixed. I mean, Pong, if you ever look in the back of it, it's just got CRT in the back. In fact, my Sheriff, if you open the back of it, the monitor in that is actually in a TV shroud at the bottom of the screen.
Didn't even take it off.
Yeah, I've had it out. It's like a plastic shroud around it. It was a TV. They just stuck a TV in the bottom. It's mad. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's a good question. I mean, for a lot of people, I mean, I'm probably the oldest here, right? So I remember the really early stuff.
34,
and it is harder for someone a bit younger to get into this stuff. Like my son comes round, he doesn't really want to get into this. You know, he remembers probably the N64. That's where it starts for him. So it all depends on your age, I guess, really, and your memories, your nostalgia. But saying that, I've met young kids at the arcade club who have come up to me and said, "Oh, I watched your video on Space Firebird and I went out and brought one." And he's only like 22, you know.
Wow.
And I was really impressed with that.
You're influencing, Alex. You're
influencing. You're influencing in a good way.
Well, not me. It's the game, isn't it? It's the game. You know.
Well, you're very easy to the eye as well, Alex. That's what helps.
Yes.
Yes, the cream cake.
Sorry, did you see that comment from Billy? He's born in 92. What, fucking 1892? 92 when, mate? What the fuck?
92.
When was he born? Filthy animal. Love you, Billy. I've got pants older than him.
Polygon game should be banished.
I think you can go back as far as you like, as long as the game is good. It holds up. You know.
Whoa, Rob.
What's this? Popped outside to get a signal and say hello. Best get back inside, back to work.
That's a flying visit.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Bless Billy. He's even put the year. Look at him.
Has he?
Come on, Billy.
Oh, yes, he is.
I've got socks older than that.
1992. There you go.
It's the eyes. There's so much wisdom in them, Billy.
Hang on, what's this here? Give my boys original Pong. They would scream in horror.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true. Right. Okay, Si.
This would be good.
This would be good. Yeah, for me, it's really odd though, isn't it? Because I really like the Spectrum and the ZX81. Yeah, I was born in '83. You know what I mean? So the ZX81 was out a few years before. and the ZX Spectrum came out in 1982, didn't it? So they're all. But I think the reason why I have nostalgia for them is we were never really upgrading stuff. You know what I mean? So I was playing on the older stuff for a lot longer. I think I was playing the Spectrum until about 92, 93, where we got our first Amiga. So that's you know what I mean. That's why I have a fondness for the Spectrum. But I can pretty much go back to any era and appreciate it for what it is. I've got at the moment a Fairchild Channel F on the way, which is the first console of the second generation. It came out a year before the Atari 2600, and I really, really like that. I sold mine years ago and instantly regretted selling it. It's got one of the best pads on any console ever. And I've also got a Mattel Aquarius coming as well. So I like these old, failed, forgotten consoles and computers. I think I have more of a fascination with them, the fact that they did fail than anything else. So yeah, for me, I can pretty much play anything. And what I love though is the fact that Oscar, even though he's what is he 9 now? I have to think then for a second. We'll play these older games with me. I mean, he won't play them like he plays his DS or his Switch, but he can appreciate it. So hopefully he'll get nostalgia when he's older from it. I don't know. But yeah, I can pretty much play anything.
Right, Paul, over to you.
Well, like for me, I started off with the Commodore 64, but I have tried the VIC-20. I've had 2 or 3, but I've always
Love the
after a
VIC-20.
while let them go because it's just I haven't got any nostalgia for the games, so I just get like
I'm just going to say it, Paul. There's a great homebrew scene for the VIC-20.
Well, well, there you go. There's a nice little space for you to cover. Because it won't be me.
Nostalgia, though, Paul, is the thing. I don't think you need nostalgia. The system's good and there's good games on it. It's worth owning, I reckon.
Yeah.
I think it's more question of money.
Cheese and onion on the VIC-20 is stunning.
I mean, well, do you know what I mean? I've got the 2600, and I mean, it doesn't get much more basic than that. And
no,
it does.
I've got no nostalgia for it, but I just find it kind of cool when I play it.
Yeah.
Like it's just got that. I don't know. There's just that. It's the Woody and that. So it just it feels the part. So I suppose that would be the furthest back I go. But like, yeah, I'm quite nostalgia driven. So even the ZX Spectrum, which I love playing as well, I rarely play ZX Spectrum games from back then. I'm all about the homebrew. So it's like I know for a fact, me personally, I'm quite a nostalgia driven person when it comes to gaming, retro gaming. So yeah, that's probably why the other systems just don't quite do it for me. So I stick to what I used to play back in the day.
Right. Well, my answer for this is quite a simple one. Early Atari 2600. I just can't go back to that. Like the latest stuff, not so bad. I know you have, yeah. The latest stuff's not so bad, but it's funny because I did occasionally play Atari back in the day, but a friend of mine had one, but it was few and far between. But the thing is, it's not until you get older and then you go back. Like when I got the Evercade, obviously then I got the Atari cartridges. And then you put them on, and it's like, oh God, this is terrible. Like, how did I play this? So I do struggle with some of the early 2600. But on the flip side of that, I mean, the 7800, I think a lot of them games are really good. They still
7800 give the NES a run for its money. It's just a shame it came out. It was delayed to the market, which gave Nintendo the foothold they need.
Yeah.
But some of the games on the 7800 are better than the NES.
There's more arcade ports on there on the 78.
Yeah.
Where does the
bigger games like Zelda, Castlevania, more exploration, whereas 7800 didn't have that. They were more, well, because it was Atari, they were still in the arcade, so a lot of the games you saw on there were arcade ports.
Could you imagine Metroid being on the Atari? What kind of game that would be?
No, but Metroid did make it into the arcade, funny enough.
Metroid did.
And Zelda did, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Zelda. I didn't know Metroid did.
On the Play Choice 10, which was an arcade. You had a time limit. You put your money in. You had a time limit how long you got to play at Zelda and Metroid.
Wow.
which is mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
and Sega as well. Sega had a machine very similar. What was it called, Scott? The Megatech.
The Megatech, yeah.
Yeah, same thing. You're on a timer.
Is that the one that had a screen at the top when you used to select your game and there was another screen that you played it on?
Yeah.
I'd love to own one of them. I don't know why, because they're just Mega Drive games.
I've been offered a play choice loads of times, but when you can play them on the NES, it's a lot. It takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
And actually, graphically, the Famicom's got 2 more colors or 2 more sound channels, so it actually seems better on the Famicom than it does on the Play Choice 10, which should be the other way around. It should seem better in the arcade version, but it doesn't. So it's it's a lot of space taken up.
Before we go to our next question, Si, you got asked a question by Raz Tendo. I think it was regarding the Channel F. He asked which one you're getting.
I'm getting the 2. It's the second one. It was the Grandstand UK release, not the original American release.
Right. Okay. Hopefully that clears that up.
Yeah, pretty much the same system. Apart from all they did is the original one, you used to take a lid off and put your controllers inside it, whereas the second one, you just attached them to the back. That's the only difference.
Right. Okay.
Can I just address something in comments also? Evan Neal has put Blaze will be bigger than Sega soon. Never. Never will that happen. Has he seen Sonic 2? Sonic 2 broke all the records. Sega are moving on. You know, they're now hitting movies now. Come on.
It's not a bad film, actually. I quite enjoyed it. I took the kids the other day.
It's a great film. Great film.
Mario movie's not out yet, Scott. Don't speak too soon.
Oh, God. After the last time they did one of them, maybe they should leave that alone.
I remember renting that for the video shop. Waste a weekend.
Bob Hoskins, wasn't it?
That's the reason why I used to watch the Mario film is because of Bob Hoskins. I loved him as an actor. I thought he's an amazing actor, so highly underrated in sometimes. But that film, he couldn't save that film, could he? Really?
I don't think anyone could.
No.
He was good in Roger Rabbit, though, wasn't he?
Oh, he's brilliant.
Oh, brilliant in that. And The Long Good Friday is one of my favourite films. I adore that film.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to Alex's question. And that is,
if your gaming space was for life, what would be your ideal gaming setup stroke games room?
Do we have a price cap here?
Yeah, I mean, some people might aspire to The Last Gamer. I certainly don't. You know, I mean, his videos are interesting to watch to see what it picks up, but I would feel overwhelmed going into a space with that amount of games in. And it's not a very personal collection either, because when you've got everything, it doesn't really tell a story about you and what you like. You know, it's almost like you look at someone's record collection, you know, you can tell a person's character by what sort of music they like. It's the same with games. You know, it's a very personal thing. I don't think it matters how many games you got, but what sort of setup, what ideal setup would you like?
Yeah.
In terms, would you like a few arcade games? You know, would you like a virtual reality setup? Would you maybe have like a pinball, maybe, to, even though you're not really into pinballs, would you have it maybe for when your family members come over? So you want to invite other people in? Or is it purely a space for you to enjoy your hobby? There's loads of different ways you can come at it. What do you reckon, guys? Have I got to answer my own question?
Yeah, you got to answer it. Come on.
I didn't think of that.
Well, your answer should be look at your games room now, because you've built that.
No, I'm not getting that. Well, because there's always a game you want. You know, I've had so many games I've had to let them go, and I do regret selling them. But what can you do? You can't have them all. You can't realise you just can't have them all. And I've got one too many in and out. You know, what the fuck do I do with this? I've got Space Invaders here, and I don't really want to get rid of it because it means so much to me. It was the first game I ever played. It's what got me into video games. But what the fuck do I do with it? Scott, if you want to borrow it for a while, you can have it.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I don't want to get rid of it. See, the ideal setup, maybe a little bit more space for some arcades, but then am I asking too much? Have I got too much? I don't know. I've run out of space now for console stuff. So I'm really selective about what I pick up now.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't have everything. But in terms of computers, I don't think I'd want any more computers in here. You know, I don't aspire to have like an Amiga or anything like that. I've got the consoles. The 16-bit era is my setup. That's my ideal setup. You know, PC. I'll tell you what I would like is a Sega Saturn, Scott.
I love him, Saturn.
Because they've got some cool arcade games on there, haven't they?
Yeah.
Probably have to go down the emulation route with that, but
oh yes, that's all in hand. It's getting rather exciting.
That's probably the last console I probably have really. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with what I've got. So, what's your take on it, guys?
Just before we move on to you, Si, I missed out Lee on the last question. I realised I'd missed out Lee on the last question. So, Lee, on the last question, do you want me to bring it up again, or?
No, you're good, man. Mine was NES and Master System, but thanks to you, Si, well, mainly, to be honest, mainly Si, I'm now into 8-bit micros.
You couldn't have passed up that bargain.
You can't get any better than free, barring £7 in petrol. Well, I did drive a bit fast. But yeah, I mainly was SNES and like Master System, and now it's, you know, CC. I don't know if I've shown this. I've got something. I don't know if I'm just going to grab it. Let me just give me.
Oh God! You know what
you have to get this on a T-shirt.
No,
you know what it's
I don't know if I show. Yeah, I wasn't.
You get a fine if you don't show that on any stream.
No, I've been told by the people. It was mainly NES and NES and Master System, but now I'm going back to Commodore 64, which I'm loving.
Oh, you got into the homebrew stuff with that? Or have you actually played some of the originals?
So when I got that system, sorry, I got RoboCop and I got a few other games with it, which I played, which you'll find. But to be honest with you, I'm saving all my answers for another stream. But saying that, I think it's quite nice to see where we've come from and where we've gone to. So I quite enjoy that. Look at it, and I just want to say thanks to Martin as well. All of you guys really, but you know, playing the Cytronic games is
it's amazing what they can do, isn't it? Really, with their old hardware. And
OSG done a video about the best homebrew games, and there was that game Newcomer. Bloody hell, that looks like it's an Amiga game, like the way it moves. And
isn't it on something like 9 discs or something?
9
like that?
discs, he said.
Oh,
I need that one, boy.
9 discs.
Yeah, that's it. That's me, man.
That's
really.
Monkey Island to shame that does.
No, well, yeah, that's me. Really,
the 5 1/4, aren't they?
Yeah. Right. Okay. So let's go back to Alex's question, and it was size go. Take it away, Si.
Yeah, ideal setup. I mean, I have my games room and all the games and everything in there. But to be honest, if I could only have like say 2 or 3, I have that set up in my bedroom. I've got a Commodore TV with an Amiga 1200 underneath it, an Atari ST, and next to it, I've always got the Spectrum hooked up, which then sometimes gets switched out for other computers. So my ideal setup is I'd be quite happy with that. If you know what I mean, never had nothing else. And this is weird because I'm not even including the GameCube in my ultimate setup. I mean, as much as I like the GameCube, I could quite happily live without it. I really could. So yeah, as long as I've got an Amiga and a Spectrum in my setup, I'd be really happy. So yeah, that's what I'd have, and to be honest, is what I've got in my bedroom.
Nice.
Paul.
For me, I'd actually have something quite similar to what Martin's got. The Hobby Lodge. I would definitely
impressive.
I would just want something like it's like a shed. It has to be separate from the house, a bit away, and something like a nice like cabin sort of thing would be that would be my dream. It really would. Like sofa with like set up like the Amiga or 64 or something like that, and I would love that. I'd have like maybe a part of the place to do like the editing the videos and like where to record from, and I would love to do something like that. But
problem is, Paul, if you had one of them, you'd never go back in the house, would you?
well,
You'd
how
live there.
the house
Well,
now?
I don't think Martin does, to be fair.
No arcades, Paul.
Oh well, I mean, if I could have one, it would have to be Operation Wolf. That would be the only arcade. I know it gets samey and stuff like that, but like if I could have one,
it does the rounds that cab, doesn't it?
Yeah, so what is it? Operate? Why is it that one game would be your number one that you'd have? Because I remember playing it back in the day and I remember enjoying it, but I wouldn't put it as my number one.
I think it was because
that was a big game. Big
Arnold
game.
Schwarzenegger, and he was always tooting Uzis, like shooting people left, right, center. And I wanted to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, shooting an Uzi. And when you fight out the screen and you got the kickback and everything, it was just like, oh, for me, yeah, it was just. I
still remember messaging Scott when he was moving the Operation Wolf into his house, and I said, "How's your back?" And he went, "I can't move."
That is the heaviest cab
Watch the video
ever. Oh, mate, that cab is something else. That
I don't
weight.
think I've ever moved a heavier cab than that one.
Oh, it's so heavy. And also, you've got to be careful because how you angle it, you don't want the PCBs rocking in the back or the CRT, the monitor falling out.
Yeah.
So you've got to balance it just right. And my God, it's heavy. It takes a good 3 men to lift it. Definitely.
But yeah, I would just have like, some arcades would be great. Like, definitely.
I tell you what, I missed out of mine. I'd like enough room for a pool table.
Yeah,
That's what Martin's got in his.
I'd love a pool table in the middle.
Yeah.
Especially with the snooker on right now as well. You know, it's full-size snooker table.
Yeah, basically that's what Martin's got. He's got like a pool table, but he uses it for his tabletop as well.
yeah.
So I think he can play air hockey on it as well, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I have to go and see Martin's room.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
impressive.
if anyone hasn't seen, have a look for the Hobby Lodge. Lee, you done a room, like a games room tour.
Tour. Yeah.
So, definitely check that out, 'cause
great room tour, that one.
It's awesome.
I mean,
really.
The bit for his tabletop gaming with the projector, I mean, that looks really good. Yeah, class. Right, okay, so my answer, I suppose, to this is fairly simple because from the minute I saw it, I've wanted it, and that's Alex's room. Quite a simple answer for me. If I could have an ideal gaming setup, it would be what Alex has got, because the minute I saw his room, I was like, that's impressive, you know. I might switch a couple of the games, you know, maybe House of the Dead, and if I could get Sega Rally in there, I doubt it, but if I could, you know.
It's a good game.
But
I've always had a big room, really. I've always had I mean, this is only the last couple of years, really. I've had this. I've always had a really tiny room. I mean, Scott, you remember my little room I had before?
Yeah,
it was tiny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I do feel very lucky. I am lucky to have this. Well, I've got to thank my missus for this because she's really helped with me with this 100%. You know, she's been brilliant. But yeah, I mean, you all seem to want more though. But actually, I do feel quite content in here now. I've got everything.
Have you still got your swivel bond chair thing?
I do.
Villain?
I've got
see, even that. I love that. Even that. Like, you gotta have a villain chair, ain't you? You know? You sit there plotting what you're going to do to people.
Yeah. Well, you're always welcome to come over, Lee. Do a room tour of it, mate, for your channel.
Oh, it'd be good. I don't know how far it is from me, but yeah, it'd be great. I'd love to come down there.
You have to bring a sleeping bag. Bring a sleeping bag, Lee. A proper journey.
But that is definitely what I would want, something like that. Because even like the lighting and all that, superb. Love it. So,
cheers, mate.
Right, Lee.
I want a room like Alex. No, I don't.
Still going to move to Alex.
You've got a project coming on now, Lee, haven't you?
Yeah. So,
you can start from scratch. So tell us what you're going to do.
Yeah. So I've got these like porter cabins kind of coming in. My wife's business is growing and growing. Where I'm in the conservatory now. My conservatory it's a big old size. It's massive, and she would have like 8 to 10 kids a day. She's now got between 20 and 30 kids a day. So she's really busy. So I've got a 400-foot garden. My garden's massive. It's like, you know, I've said this before. When I moved there, I was like, oh, yeah, it's great. It's not. It's bullshit. It's too much. It's too much.
I'd happily live at the bottom of your garden. It's just
Oh,
like
mate, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but so my wife's getting 2 massive cabins for her business, and I'm getting to get my own cabin to go further down in the garden, and that will become my games room man cave. So I've only done a bit of filming, odds and sods, a few bits, because finding builders is like finding gold. It's a joke at the minute, to be fair. They all want the little jobs, the quick jobs to make money. They don't want nothing big. So when I'm asking I'm having to get someone to do this, someone to do. I can't get one builder to do everything. But
if I was closer, mate, I'd do it for you.
I'd fucking work you hard. I would as well. You filthy animal. There would be no tea.
You've got a big old whip, haven't you? And old leather bondage and all that.
It's a black one as well.
Different channel.
Black one. No. But no, it's just one of them, innit? I mean, even you and same as Alex, you start game, he said the same to me, but it's not even about, it's just one of them, innit? It's just awkward at the minute. But when it does get put into place, it's going to be interesting because, you know, there's a lot of stuff I don't show too much of. Well, I don't show hardly anything of my collection on YouTube, really. But at the same time, there's stuff that I don't normally show, like my comics. I've got a massive comic collection. It's a joke, really, the amount of comics I've got. All my VHSs, you know, like all my anime, my manga, all my Blu-rays, my steelbooks. I've got so much, my toys. I don't really show too much in it because I've been planning to do it on YouTube. It's just taking forever, like obviously moving into a house and then changing radiators and changing heaters and then doing the electrics and I mean, I didn't do it, but you know. So definitely would like. I've got 2 arcades. Well, I've got 3 arcades already at my mum's house. Bless her. One's a Neo Geo MVS multi-cart one, but it's a Neo Geo, but it's pretty beaten up. One is what do you call it? A Street Fighter, but it's again they're all pretty old, and I bought them years ago. But I would like to try and move them on, and I'd love to get an Initial D. And I've said this to you before, Alex. I love Initial D, the anime, but I know they're pricey. I would love a Sunset Riders, which is probably nigh on impossible because I love Sunset Riders.
Well, that was a kit, so you wouldn't have got a dedicated of that.
Oh, right, okay.
Jammer. That would just been a kit, like a. See, you know, when Jammer came in, they just had kits. The dedicated.
Oh, right, okay.
Was sort of the classic 80s era, and then they moved on to Jammer. So anything sort of 90s would have been kits. You still got dedicated, but that would have been a kit. So you would really need a Jammer cab, wouldn't you, in your arcade? So you could swap games in and out.
I'd love that. I'd love a Sunset Riders, and then car one. Initial D is my car one, but then I would like. We were talking about this the other day. A fruit machine. I love a fruit machine.
Yeah,
I love a fruity. I really would. Just to hear it, you know. You shared the old Del Boy one, but there was that Cops and Robbins. Was it Cops and Robbers one?
Yeah.
The guys
there was one of them. Yeah.
I used to love them when I was a kid.
I don't get the point of winning your own money, though.
Yeah, but you get all you filthy animals to come round, fill it with money, and I take it all back.
Yeah, but I know how to work that old coin slot, mate. The old lollipop stick up the top.
Hold up.
Credit.
Yeah, no, it's it'd be a mix of games, comics. But it'd just be a big mix, and nice. I don't think any space is going to be big enough. You know, because you're just going to grow, and that's what it is. But
that's what I mean. It's never big enough.
No, it never is, mate. It, you know, you're humbled with what you've got, and then something comes up on Facebook or on eBay, or you know, you can't help it.
Because you're a hoarder, Lee. That's why.
I know, mate. That Annie, what's that? Sue and Aggie are going to come around my house soon. It's going to be terrible when they come around. I tell you.
No, I bet you're excited, Lee. It's exciting times.
I am. I'm excited. It's been a long time coming, mate, because the last game room was when I was in my last house, my bungalow we had, before my kids come along. That was my proper game room. But I wasn't doing YouTube then. I just started YouTube as the kids as the second one come along. So I never really filmed anything, which is a shame now, but it's going to be soon. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool.
And you're all
I'm
welcome.
looking forward to it too, to be honest.
You all come round. I'll cook.
Game room floor, Lee, chef.
Yeah,
mate. And we're doing live swap shop.
Yep, and you cooking definitely. I'm there.
Yeah, I'll be cooking, mate. Don't you worry. Cream cakes as well. Cream cakes, custard tart.
Cream cakes. If Alex is there, got to do it.
Good question. Good question, Alex.
It is. Yeah, it is. Scott.
I think with me, collection-wise, I'm pretty much there. You know, my mission was to get the full UK PAL Mega Drive set. I achieved that. It's taken many years, but I've done it. I've got the UK Dreamcast full set. There's bits and pieces I want to add, but I'm really content with my console collecting. I'm starting to be influenced by Alex in a lot of Nintendo and Jade. I'm sure he messages Jade and tells her what games that I've got to get. But we're adding a bit of Nintendo here and there. And so I think if I was to change anything, I would want more of my system set up. I think that's what's crucial. My old place, Alex has seen my old place. He done a room tour of it, and I had so much set up. And since I've been here, I've got my Amiga set up. I've got my Spectrum Next set up on one desk, and then I've got my B&O CRT-V, which has my Saturn, my ColecoVision set up, and I've got my Mega Drive set up. But I want every system. I want every system set up. So I think what I would do is I'd have a lot bigger desk area, so I could have all my micros set up, all of them on their own monitor, because I'm greedy. I'd want them all on their own CRT TV or monitor. And something that was really massive as well is having people round. When I had my birthday bash last year and everyone come round and we had such a great time, I think it's really crucial that you have a bit like how Alex is set up. I know when I come to Alex's, how he's got all these arcades running, everything set up to play. I think that's key for me. I would definitely add a pinball machine as well. I would love to have the Iron Maiden pinball.
That'd be
I would love to own that. That's one of the sort of grail pieces I'd put in. And obviously more Sega cabs, Sega Rally. I'd love to have Space Harrier. You know.
Yeah.
If I could have, I think my ideal arcade setup would be 6 cabs.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably, the 6th cab would be like a rotational one. So I'd have 5 that I kept and one that I'd change out every 6 months when I got bored of it.
Would you ever sort of slim the console collection down into to achieve that, or do you think you don't need to?
I debate that quite a lot. I do think, well, do I really need all this? You know, because I am all about playing. You've got to play what you collect. For me personally, I have to play it. You know, and that's why I done that massive cull a couple of years ago when I got rid of all the PAL Saturn games because I weren't playing them. I was playing Japanese Saturn games. I got rid of all of my Atari collection, my Vectrix. They all went because I just didn't play them. So maybe it will come down to that to get the funds, because at the end of the day, pinball, Iron Maiden is not cheap. You know, you need to win a lot.
Would you ever sell off the Mega Drive collection?
I think the Mega Drive collection would probably be the last thing to go. That's such a journey, such an achievement.
Don't get rid of that.
No.
But you got a nice turbo outrun now, though, dude. That is an awesome cab.
I love that cab. It's a great cab.
You came along at the right time with that Smarty board as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that board. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a game changer, isn't it? Because with the old Sega scalers, you've got problems with the chips. And you can't replace them if they go down because they were
custom chips,
unique to the boards. And Paul was saying about Operation Wolf, but I had that longer in my collection not working and I did it working. And that's a bit of a love-hate relationship that you have with arcade cabs, isn't it? You know, they spend an awful lot of time not working. So
I think that's why I could never have an original one, to be honest, because I wouldn't have the funds to keep them going. It's like a classic car, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's definitely like that.
And there is ways. There are boards about now, Si, that you can, like FPGA boards. You can put it in if you want it. You know, because some boards are.
I'd say the only thing I regret with my one is it's not a CRT monitor in it. That bugs me that it's a flat screen. It doesn't feel right when I'm playing the games.
Yeah, that's important for me. It has to be CRT for me to play the old games on.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got a retro pie in both my jammer cabs now because I'm done with the PCBs. They're
Yeah.
a massive pain in the arse. And you know, I had people here, Nushi's family yesterday, and they wanted to play games, and just bring the menu straight up.
Yep.
You've got a whole list of games, and it's like, pick what you want, you know, it's all there. I ain't got to keep pulling the cab out because my arm's not as strong as it used to be. I can't even pull these cabs out now. So hard on this carpet. The carpet's so thick. The cabs embed themselves in the carpet after a period of time. They've been sat there. So even though they're on sliders, they're sort of embedded in the carpet. So you have to sort of lift them up, then pull them out. And it's because I broke my arm. It's a real pain in the ass getting them out to change the boards around. So I'll just stuck retro pie in there. It's so much easier.
You can see why people do that, can't you? Because it's convenience, but it's also reliability as well, isn't it?
Reliability. Unless you can fix them, unless you're knowledgeable yourself, you can fix them, or know someone that is willing to do it, and then you've got to pay them because it's not cheap to fix these boards.
Yeah,
I mean, all my dedicateds I try and keep original, but for the jammer, for playing games like I was playing Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which is one of my favourite ones.
Great game, love that game.
Board alone now, £900.
Yeah,
no way I pay 900. Yeah, 900 quid for Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is crazy.
And they're like a ticking time bomb. You're so worried when you own the original PCBs.
Yeah,
it's like a ticking time bomb because even I've had ones where I've sat them in a box. They're completely, safe. And then you put it in that just don't work. And you're like, well, what's gone wrong here? You know?
I know, because I've got a carpet, it's static electricity.
Yeah.
Damages them, which I didn't know. You know, all things like that you got to be aware of. Yeah, it's a real...
I suppose it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, Paul, you'll probably know this, right? Like being an electrician.
Yeah, like when you're working on like a board or anything like that, you're meant to wear like an earth strap.
Yeah.
So that any static doesn't damage the components. So, but normally it's things like capacitors drying out or capacitors leaking, and that's normally what causes the failures. More sometimes you get the tracks lifting off the board, and you just like that with like moisture, and there's all sorts of shenanigans can go on in there. You've just got to hopefully find someone who will give you mates rates. You know what I mean? Like somebody's good in the community.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Shall we move on to size question? And that is, take it away, Si.
Grady Games. Just want to know what your opinions are about them. The extra price that goes onto a game just because it's sealed in a piece of plastic. What was it? What Games that there was breaking records for like the most expensive sealed graded games, and it seemed like they were just selling them out. But that's something else. What annoys me is when I've got a game which is my game, and you get people kicking off that you shouldn't open that game. It's sell it to somebody else and buy an open copy. But it's my game. I can do what I like with my game. So it annoys me. So only sealed game I got at the moment. Should we unseal it now?
Yeah, go on, do it.
Yeah, do it.
Because and people get me though. They always say, "Oh, you're only doing it to wind people up." Well, you know what? I'm doing it because I want to play this game. The fact that it winds you up is just a little bonus. So, hang on, where is it? There we are. Look.
Oh, that's like a packet of
To be honest, I've wanted to play this game for a while. I picked this one up.
Oh, smell that! Smell that!
Look at that. What's this? How much money does this piece of plastic add to your game? There we are. It'd be great if I opened it up then. There was no disc inside, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's even how it's bouncing around inside. That's the other thing you get, isn't it?
Look at that nice, clean disc, and you can all see your faces on there. Look now.
Yeah, very nice.
But yeah, that was my thing. It's just like, what are your guys' opinion on sealed and graded games? Would you pay the extra money for them, even though you can never play them? Would you sell them on to somebody else and make yourself a bit more profit, or would you just open them and enjoy them? Because that's what I do.
Paul.
So when it comes to sealed games, I've only got two, and I only bought them because they were really cheap and it was a bit of a novelty. They were both Hit Squad games, but it's like, you know, when they used to come in like with like a cardboard back with like the tape on the front. Well, I've got 2 Hit Squad games, and one is the first Hit Squad game I bought ever, which is Platoon. I'm not even 100% sure what the other one is, but I know one of them's Platoon. And I keep it. I've got another copy anyway, so but I always keep that because I know it's just
Didn't I sell you a sealed game as well? The that game that was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, but obviously,
awful. Worst game I've ever.
I mean, that looks beautiful, but it's
it
just
does graphic wise and everything. But why they decided that control system, I'll never know.
I think it's called Obliterator.
Yeah, that's the one.
Made by Psygnosis. And the artwork on the front is absolutely beautiful. It's like a xenomorph sort of thing, and but when you play the game, it's just so difficult to control. But yeah, getting to the question. So they're pretty much the only sealed games. I don't see the point in buying sealed games because I buy games to play. So I would never actively look for sealed games. So to be honest, I didn't know it was such a thing. Like
it's the graded games that get me though. It's like you just add a 0 on the end of the price just because somebody's put it in a plastic box.
If people want to collect sealed games, then well, that's up to them, really. But yeah, I'll buy games to play. As for graded games, well, I'll let you into a little secret. I didn't even know these existed until about a year ago. I didn't even know it was a thing. I had absolutely no idea you could send a game away to somewhere, they'd grade it, put it in a plastic box or whatever, and then say it's worth this much. I didn't even know, because I think that's more of like, well, from what I've seen now, it feels like more of a console thing.
Yeah.
Like,
there was a guy on, was it Retro Realm, Scott, that graded a game, opened it, sent it back to another place, and got a completely different grade on the game, just proving that.
Yeah, he done a YouTube video on and everything. He sent it, and it got like in the high 80s, I think, graded. So he got a Dremel and he cut it open, took it out, and sent it back to the same company, I believe, and they graded it higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't really got much thoughts on graded stuff. I've never bought one. In fact, the only thing I know about them really was that one that sold for, was it like £1 million or £2 million or something?
10 million.
Was it 10?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2. Jesus. Wow. Well, that's mental. Like that's got to be some sort of like, yeah.
What games that was.
It's just, yes, there's got to be something going on there. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it, really. As I say, I haven't really had much exposure to either.
Well, see, for me, I wouldn't say I've got a problem with sealed games. I've not got a problem so much with that. Although, you know, I do buy games I want to play. So if it's one I haven't got already, then I would open it to play it, right? Graded games is where I've got the issue because, and like you've all pretty much said already, you know, it overinflates the price, don't it? You know, you notice that even the ones that aren't sealed then start going up in price, right? So now you're paying more for your games. And like you said, the other thing is it's not consistent. You know, like 1 minute you send a game and it gets one score, the guy sends it back again and then it gets higher. You know, like, so that's my other issue with it. Not only is it bumping out the prices for people like us, but it's not consistent either. You know, who makes up these gradings? Like, who's the one who's deciding this? You know? So for me, that's where I've got the issue. Graded games, I think, are a real problem, you know? What do you guys think? What do you think, Lee?
Just want to say those crisps were awesome, by the way. Jalapeno and cheese, mate.
I can tell that they were a little bit spicy for you, weren't they?
I'm telling you, mate. My I can't say that. My missus to put the toilet roll in the freezer, preemptive. Right, sealed games. I have a fair few.
You got?
Games. I have quite a few sealed games, but let me explain to you why. And this is only because of the scenario I was in. When Blockbusters, bloody hell, was closing down. Yeah, that place. I was buying. I've got quite a few. Castlevania and Castlevania 2 on the PS3, Xbox 360, which they weren't very good games at the time, so I bought them for a couple of £1 each. And I bought a couple of games, and I've still got them and I was giving them out to people and whatnot. This is before YouTube, if you know what I'm saying. I was giving them out to people. I haven't gone out my way to buying these sealed games, but out in the wilds. When I say wild, I don't mean CEX, by the way. No, some people seem to be getting confused with the wild being CEX. It's not.
A dedicated game shop.
Yeah. Charity shopping, Gumtree finds, Facebook Marketplace finds, and car booters is where I found quite a few sealed games. People will buy a system, and there's it's like FIFA sealed or this sealed, and I've got some of them games I've kept sealed. But to go out my way to buy a game not to ever play, that's not a gamer. Why are you buying something that's sealed if you're never going to play it and you're meant to be a gamer? If you want to buy it to resell and all that, that's great. That's great. I mean, that's your prerogative, isn't it? But to go out your way to buy sealed games, I don't know. Listen, I could be wrong. One of my good friends, I've been telling him for 8 years to YouTube. He's called Phil. He's got a full Xbox original and Xbox 360 sealed, pal. Every single one. And he's never going to open them. All right. And I'm like, and he collects games, he plays games, but he's like, oh, because it's just my thing. It's just, I want to collect them all. So I get the reason why people do it. Maybe subsetting, buying Pokemon games sealed, maybe buying Star Wars games sealed. That's, I can see that. But I just don't see the hype, and I don't really see the point. Well, you want to look at a sealed game? I'll wrap it in cling film for you, sell it to £200 if you want. I mean,
saying that, Lee, I actually saw a post a couple of years back now, and you can see sort of like a dodgy seal, and everyone was calling them out, and they were saying like, "Oh, it's not a sealed game," and the guy selling it went, "Yeah, it is sealed. My brother sealed it last night for me."
Oh. Totally missed the point.
Yeah, but in the beginning, that was probably happening. A lot of people were probably, because what was that shop? There was one of them musical Magpie. One of them was resealing games and selling them out. And they were second-hand games.
That was commonplace. It was commonplace back in the day. I used to work for
Hamlands was doing it.
And I worked for Electronics Boutique. We had a machine that resealed games. We resealed loads.
See?
Yeah.
What we used to do is when the games come in, we used to take the manual and the disc out, reseal the case. So when someone brought it up to the counter, you would then break the seal, put the guts back in it, and reseal it for them.
Huh. Okay.
Like I said, they used to do it at Poundland as well. Because
Poundland, I remember, because I remember I bought Gears of War or something, and it had like a game sticker on it, like half a game stick, and it was like wrapped, and I was like, that's fucking strange.
I bought quite a few UMDs and PSP games from there a couple of years back, and they were all sealed. So yeah, they resealed.
Yeah, I've got nothing against, if you know what I mean. Like I mean, Si's just trying to set fire to people. Bless him. But
when you're lucky, I'm not burning this, to be honest. So if it was a Commodore 64 game, it'd be straight on the fire.
Hey.
Oi.
Okay. We're moving from
good question, Si. And the graded games bit, I don't really get. Again, I don't.
Graded games is a tax on stupid people.
I just don't get why you'd want to buy a graded game. I don't understand. Like, to me, I don't see the point of just looking at it. I want to play it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Like I say, it's a nonsense anyway, though. I mean, who is it who decides? Like, this should get an 80 and this should get this. Who decides this?
Well, it's the same as CEX, isn't it? The grading listings, how you grade. Well, that's another story, isn't it? But yeah.
Yeah.
Good question.
That could be a whole other debate.
It's a good question. Scott.
This would be good.
I own some sealed games, but it's probably because I want to go back sort of 6 or 7 years. A lot of stuff was found in European warehouses. Even here, there was some warehouses with stock.
Yeah. And
I managed to accumulate a lot of the Dreamcast set with people that had discovered these pallets of games. They had no monetary value, really. They were being sold for the same price as a pre-owned one or a second-hand game. So 6 or 7 years ago, I've probably got 20 sealed Dreamcast games. because
But
they were the same
Mega Drive games didn't come sealed though, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, they had a seal on it, but they weren't wrapped
Yeah.
like.
Hold on, let me grab one.
Were they?
I've
here you go.
opened. I had a
I thought they
sealed
had the sticker.
No, I had a sealed
that.
Dreamcast game. It didn't have a strip though, like
Yeah,
the PlayStation that
Mega
does.
Drive though, I'm on about.
Mega
Oh,
Drive.
Mega. Sorry, I thought you said
Mega Drive, I
Dreamcast.
thought was just the oval Sega sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what he means.
Good thing from Billy, by the way. Graded
Yeah,
comics. I've got loads
he's
of
got a
graded comics.
Dreamcast too.
Yeah,
I
it
thought you were
was
talking
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mega Drive. Mega Drive games came with just the Sega seal.
Yeah.
But if you bought a game, I think it was from like Duty, if you was like in an airport, they used to put them in a cardboard, a bit like what you were saying about the Hit Squad games, Paul. They'd have a cardboard backing and a plastic blister on the front.
Oh, wow.
You could get certain titles were released like that. But yeah,
Sorry.
no, I've got quite a few Dreamcast games sealed, but they were cheap. They was just as cheap as buying these than it was to buy a pre-owned one.
Many of them. There were so many more of them found.
So many of them.
It made sense to buy a sealed game, right?
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Sorry, there was one Mega Drive game.
I mean, this is the point, though, isn't it? These games were delivered to the customer sealed.
Yes.
And, they weren't delivered unopened. They were sealed up. So there's obviously still a few in accumulation out there that are available for us to buy.
Yeah.
But the point we're missing here, which you haven't touched on, is would you actually pay to get them graded? I know you touched on you wouldn't pay for a game that's already graded, but would you get one graded? There's the difference.
I wouldn't.
I
have thought about it, but I wouldn't.
And then grading it, putting it in a tomb. In effect, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I've seen, Alex? I have seen someone grade a box of Pokemon cereal. It's just why.
One of my, I think it was my second or third game room tours for Jag 555. Good friend of mine, lovely guy. He's well into his graded stuff. He's never brought a graded game, but he sends him off to get graded. He's got a very small console collection, but he's got his favourite. So he's really into Mario Kart. So he's got a big Mario Kart section, and they're graded. He's sent them off to get graded, and he loves it. But he's got the carts he can just put in, but he loves the game so much. It's like a piece of art to him. He wants to get it graded. It's not for me, but what he's into, then
I can see why people do that. I really can. Like what you said, if
selling it on to make money, he's doing it for his enjoyment, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mega Drive games, do they? So that little seal, oval seal that's on the box, do you see many Mega Drive games that are sealed, if you like, with that steel?
I've seen many, but you cannot.
You can't prove it, can you?
You can't prove they've not been opened.
Yeah,
I have Mega Drive games. I've got Mega Drive games where it's got the seal still on and it looks like it's never been opened.
Right. Okay.
But it has, because I've played it.
The only Mega Drive game that I know was sealed, but it's a blister, but it was a proper seal, was I remember going into Woolworths and they had Moonwalker with the video in a sealed box. That's the only one I remember being sealed, but it was a blister. That's the only one. Other than that, it was just the logo, the oval, wasn't it, Scott?
Yeah, I think with the whole grading thing and the whole collecting sealed games, it breaks it down, doesn't it, in what you're collecting for. Most of us here, we're gamers. It's a hobby to us. We love to play retro games, the whole nostalgia, the passion of playing those games. But there is people out there, this is a massive market now. There's people out there that are just purely into this for investment.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get a better investment. And it's a lot less risk taking to have that brand new sealed and graded than it is to have a pre-owned game on your shelf.
If you had a copy of Alien Soldier on the Mega Drive and you knew it was 100% legit sealed and you could prove it, would you open it? Even though it would be worth probably twice as much, if not more. You wouldn't, would you?
Well, it depends. What if you just stumbled across it by chance?
You'd rather just pick up a loose cart of it and then stick it in and keep that sealed, and knowing that that is a bit of an investment sitting there going up.
Yeah, you probably would. No, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I said on. That's why I said on mine, I don't have a problem with it because
I'll open
that's
anything.
the thing.
I know it depends on the value, though, doesn't it? Come on, we're not idiots here. You're not.
No, of course.
You're not going to open a. You're not going to unseal a copy of Earthbound, are you? When you know it's going to go for thousands and thousands of pounds.
I'm still shocked what that goes for unsealed.
Yeah.
What's that, mate?
I said I'm still shocked what that goes for unsealed.
Well, exactly. But if it was sealed, you wouldn't open it, would you?
Well, at the end of the day, we all want to add to our collection. So if I was to find an alien soldier and it was proven that that was never been opened and it was like new, then of course I'd be grading it, selling it, and getting one of these bloody Space Harrier arcade cabs that I want in my collection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was a good comment here a minute ago. I mean, look at this for a comment. I wouldn't trust sending anything expensive off to be graded. Think about how things turn up when you buy them online. He's absolutely right.
Totally. I mean, it's not for me. I can do it. But then again, I don't think I'd open up a really nice, expensive sealed game just for the sake of playing it. If I could just play the cart, if I could pick a cart up of it for 15 quid, which I have. So, you know, I've got a copy of F-Zero. This is sealed. But it's the player's choice version. There's loads of these about. I got this for about 50 quid, and I've got a loose cart of it. Do I open this up just to see the manual?
No. But that's a common sense question, isn't it? Rather than a, you know.
Well, it's part of the question, isn't it?
It's still a question. I mean, you know, like
at the end of the day, if I unseal, what is this? Midway's greatest arcade hits, it's not a valuable game. But if that was Cannon Spike sealed on the Dreamcast, I'd be getting. I'm with Alex on this. I'd be buying Cannon Spike second hand and getting shot of the sealed one.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'd still just.
I nearly sold that because someone did send me a link. I think it was my friend Whitney in Kentucky. Sent me a link to one of these that just sold for thousands, and I didn't believe it really. And I thought, well, I said, because he knew I had a copy of this sealed. He said, check this out, time to sell, and I would have done. I don't need. I'm not a sealed collector. I just picked these up because they were cheap or part of a bundle.
Exactly.
I don't get them away. The ideal situation is something like this: Turrican 2. Can you see that? That's partially sealed. So it's still got the cellophane.
Partially.
But someone's opened it at the end. So it's another discussion, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard that before. Somebody saying a sealed game.
Do we buy partially sealed games?
Yeah. You mean open.
It's the box is fucked, but it's sealed. It's been crushed to death, but it's sealed. It's been sat on by my auntie, and it's proper crushed.
Yeah.
And it's sealed. It's like, come on, boys.
I set it on fire, but it's sealed.
It's still got some of the cellophane melted onto the box now. Around it. Good question.
Right. That is a good question. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good. And you can always tell it's a good question when the conversation goes on so long on it, So, very good question. And the thing is, it's one of them sort of subjects where everybody's got a different opinion and nobody's wrong. That's the other thing.
Yeah. No, totally.
Very good
I
question.
think we're all gamers. None of us are really sealed collectors, but if the opportunity came along and it was cheap, you'd pick one up, right?
Oh, totally. 100%.
That. But none of us would go our way to get it graded or buy graded. No. I certainly don't.
No.
I mean, there was a couple of just add quickly. There was a couple of Robotron cocktail machines that came in box. They were found in a warehouse in a box, and they were being sold.
That's taken seal to a different level.
Yeah, in box arcade machines, never been played before.
How much?
Really?
Oh, they went for crazy money, and they were doing the rounds. A few people in the UK have got them, and they started playing them, and then put them back in the box, and then still tried to sell them on as in box, doing box. I'm like, no, mate, you fucking played the game. It's not new in box.
It's that old saying. It's,
just
it's
got
the
the
old.
box.
No, it's I tested it to make sure it worked.
Yeah,
Put it
that's
back in the
right.
box. It's that old chestnut.
yeah.
It wasn't for me.
We used to
brand
get
new.
that all the time on Galaxy Sega. We used to have sealed Mega Drive, only open to check it's all there. And then
Yeah.
and you're like, well, they ain't no longer sealed.
Yeah.
Oh God, where do these people come from? Right, okay.
They come
Let's
from
move on to
Dudley.
Paul's question before he dies, because I can hear him like coughing away.
I'm
there.
coughing and spluttering. That's why I keep muting myself because I'm like
Better
coughing
not
that
be
much.
COVID.
Yeah,
Forgot to
you're all right,
unmute.
mate. Don't worry. Don't worry. Right. So here's Paul's question. Take it away, mate.
Guys, what are your what are your least favorite videos on YouTube? So, me personally, I've got a couple, and one is something I've tried and failed to do on YouTube many times, and that's shorts. I simply don't watch shorts like at all. I don't even know really how to watch them. Like, do you only watch them on your mobile? Like, I watch a lot of YouTube, like on my Mac.
It's mainly mobile based. That's why.
So, like for me, I wouldn't when I'm looking for videos to watch, and one's a short and it's in the wrong like aspect ratio, I just automatically scan straight past it. And
Sorry,
like, I know,
sorry, mate. I mean, I'm trying.
no, this is my views. Everyone's is not going to be the same, and I've done shorts. I done one a week and a half ago on the pad that Scott recommended to us all to buy.
Yes,
This fantastic thing
Oh,
here,
right.
which is the Retro 5 official.
It
Joy
really
5.
is.
that's right.
But I've done a short on that, but yeah, I just can't be tuned with them. I never ever watched them, really. And the other one, oh my god, for me, this is the main one, and I'm just sick of seeing it everywhere. It's CEX. I'm just tired of seeing.
I knew
Right.
someone was going to say it.
I
Might
don't
be more than one.
care. I don't care how much my collection would be worth if I sell it. I don't care. Like, if I go and buy a load of games and I trade them in there, or I get them like this price or that price, I literally don't care. Like, I'm just not. I don't know. For me, it's an automatic scroll past. Like, I don't know. It's just I've seen some channels who used to put out like really awesome content, and like it's almost like it's like an infection. It sucks you in. You know,
You just see the red banner, don't you? And that's it.
You just see the bosh in there, and it's like, oh, no, it's just not for me. It really isn't. Like, I've spoken about it before, but yeah, I avoid CX videos like the plague. So that's the videos that I never watch, and they're my least favorite videos from, like, you know, the like our community, so to speak.
Well, see, I come at this question from a slightly different angle, because I didn't take it just as our community. I took, because I watch other stuff as well. So
Yeah.
I took it like videos in general. So basically for me, anything woke, can't stand it, won't watch it. It shouldn't be on there. Get rid of it. It should die an horrible death. Right? Probably shouldn't say that word on YouTube. But yeah.
It's on your channel. It's all good.
But the other one I hate is fake movie news. And I'm going to name this guy because I can't stand this guy. Mike Zero. Have any of you heard of this guy? Mike Zero.
No.
Star Wars one.
So, yeah, the Star Wars guy. Man, this guy, like, before the sequel trilogy came out, he spouted nonsense videos. And then you watched it and none of it was true, you know? And he carried on doing it. He still does it to this day. Like, he puts out 8 videos a day and it's all nonsense.
Still watch
like, No, I don't. No, I don't.
I watch
Yeah,
every
that's
one
it.
of them.
No, I don't.
I was outraged, but I sat down here for 45 minutes watching.
No, definitely not. I watch a guy that actually
Dear
calls
BBC.
out. I watch a guy that calls out shills and all that. It's a channel called Darth Melvin, and he calls out all the Star Wars shills, the ones that have been paid by Disney and all that sort of stuff. And that's where I get that information now from. Trust me, I do not watch Mike Zero. I can't stand that guy. He can't be on my retinas. It can't happen. I'm going to stop now because it annoys me talking about it.
You're getting out.
We'll move on. Yeah.
In red there, Lee.
Yeah.
So Fireside ones really fucked me off. Fireside,
Yeah, absolutely terrible.
No, wow. I took the question kind of like what Lee said, as in the terms of all YouTube, but I'll scale it back a little bit. Yeah, the CEX ones, the roulette ones, like, you know, I enjoyed some of them, the early ones from Woodland.
Yeah.
I know Woodland, like, obviously he's a bit of a lunatic, bless him. But, you know, at the same time, when he was having a go about his El Gato, that's like comedy gold. I remember, never forget that one. But the CEX ones can grate on you because the problem is, because I think we kind of watch, all of us kind of watch 70% of the same channels in a way, kind of. We kind of see it more and more and more. And I think that's where it gets a bit like, oh, really? And I've got no... If I collect something from CEX, or if I just put it in a pickups vid and I say, I've got it from CEX. I'm not like making a soul video with the cookie cutter picture and all that jazz. Like, I'm not interested in that. Like, I just, you know, and...
Give us your shock thumbnail, Lee.
Those ones get on my nerves. The unboxing ones, when I say this is another one, the unboxings get on my nerves. But hear me out. It's when you know the person's only doing it just for the sake of doing it. When it's like Paul's video the other day about the Amiga 500, you can see he was wetting himself. Like, I could see the mop was going around the floor at the same time. So, like, you know, that's fine. But when people are just doing it just to do it, I just I find it hard, and I think that's the problem. I think obviously everyone's different. How they do YouTube is different. I mean, I unboxed a game. I unboxed a Mummy Demastered, which, you know, Alex, if you ain't going to get it soon, there's going to be a problem with me and you. I swear to God, you need to get that game, mate. It's fucking awesome.
It gets commission, that's why.
Oh, mate, I love that game. And it's just one of them. It's just like
on that, didn't they? Some YouTuber did a video on that. Game.
Some little YouTuber in Essex, massive sideburns. I did a little vid and I did it a little bit different. People just were like, you know, that's the game. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, whereas I took my time, and I think it's a bit different when you do like that. And then my other one is like what Lee said about the Star Wars, but mine's about any new movies. You see people, these fucking assholes who put together bits from other films. This is the new Spider-Man trailer. Yeah, I'm wetting myself. I'm not watching. I'm like, really? Like, there's a Thundercats one with Brad Pitt. That's like a classic one, and they actually look quite good, to be fair. I'm not going to lie to you, look pretty good. And I watched a lot of golf ones as well. And I know it's not your cup of tea, you guys, but there's a channel I watch. I actually quite enjoy it. He goes and collects secondhand golf clubs, and he cleans them. He uses them. He tells you how good they are. Then there's other channels I watch who get given stuff for free. Oh, this is great. This is great. And then I've gone and bought it, and it's nothing like what they said. So yeah, it's just the kind of fake ones I don't really enjoy. You know,
problem is there's so many fake ones out there. You can't
know
them from the real ones.
You know, I mean, but I really enjoy, like I said, when it's something new to someone. That ain't got to be brand new. But like when Scott got his arcade Turbo Outrun, the enthusiasm, you can see that when Alex picked back up his Super Hang-On, and we all saw that he went from the beige creamy color to the nice vibrant fresh color. You could see he was excited. You know, when Sai the other day, yesterday was playing, was it Saturday or whenever you were playing Mario Brothers on the Atari, you know, like you can see your way you're talking about, you're getting involved. And the same with Paul with his Amiga 500, and the same with Lee the other day doing the C64 emulation. You can see people's...
Who's got a helicopter going over?
Hey, hold on.
Hell. They're coming for you, mate. They're coming for you.
How dare they cut me up? But yeah, you can see everyone's enthusiasm, and that's what I love. What I love when you see that on someone's channel. I think that's key for me. If you see something like that, I love it. But when you're seeing people just like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I got this. It's
Yeah.
hard to kind of watch it.
You need
know,
to have
and
a
then-
reason behind it. The weird thing is, by the time
Yeah.
this gets to me, because I'm last, all you guys have said everything that I'm going to say.
Just forget
normally what
everything I
happens to me.
said. Psych, go.
Hang
Thank
on,
you.
Scott.
by the way.
Got to go, Scott. All right, go on, Scott. Take it away.
I think my pet hate for videos is Lee's touched on a lot of it. You know,
Sorry.
I'll only put like an unboxing video out if it's a game that means an awful lot to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll only do a pickups or a channel update video if I've got something really that I'm buzzing about that I want to talk about. I feel that like with the CEX thing, a lot of people are it's easy thing to do, isn't it? Go to charity shops, go to a car boot sale, pick up a load of old shit, go and
It's
flip
not
it
an
into
exciting
CEX.
shop to go in, is it? CEX.
And at the end of the day, they're just playing the game. You know,
I think the thing that annoys me about that, Scott, is people saying that I've just robbed this person and bought it for this much, and I'm going to go and sell it for this much. That's what annoys me. I know we all get stuff and sell it on and make a profit, but to openly publicise to everyone, I've done this and I'm going to sell it for this, annoys me. You know what I mean? We've all bought stuff and we all sell it on, but sorry,
I see where you're coming from there, but for me, it's more of there's been a few YouTubers that have been extremely successful with the whole CEX thing. So you then naturally get lots of other YouTubers jumping on it. You know, they've got to put CEX in their thumbnail. They've got to have their shocked face in, oh my God, what have I just picked up? But then when you actually click on the video and watch it, it's just monotonous. You know, there's no passion there. That person isn't pleased with their shelf filler game that they've got from CEX that, oh, has it got a manual? Hasn't it got a manual? Who cares? I want to know how that person's picked the game up, why they've picked the game up, what that means to them. What memories do they have of that game? Why have they added that onto their shelf? You know, you're getting an awful lot of guys on YouTube that are just accumulating mass collections of shelf filler titles because they're picking them up conveniently from CEX to do a video. You know, and this is where you're blurring the lines. You know, lots of us are into the lots of us are into the hobby because and YouTube is an extension of that hobby. We want to share why we're so excited and passionate about a game because most of my mates, if I phoned them up, you know, that live close to me and I said, oh my God, I've just picked up Alien Soldier on the Mega Drive, they'd be like, what the fuck is that? You know, they don't care. You know what I mean? So the whole point for YouTube, for me, was to share that passion and have like-minded people say, oh my God, what a great game you've picked up. You know, tell us your memories. Tell us what that game means to you. You know, tell us about the developer. Tell us the games that you played from them and why you never played that game. I picked that game up because I wanted it when I was 10 and I couldn't afford it or my parents didn't buy it for me. That's what I want to hear. And I'm sure CEX can be used like that. You know, if someone's picking up a rare game from CEX and they're really chuffed, I'll watch that CEX video. But like what you've all touched on, I'm not going to watch a video where someone's saying, well, I've just scanned into the CEX app 2,000 of my games and this is what they're going to pay me. I don't see the point in that because you can do that yourself. You know, why do you need someone else to tell you how to suck eggs? Do you know what I mean? And but my favorite videos are pickups videos, but they're also some of my worst videos to watch for that same reason.
Yeah,
you know, someone has a stack
passion.
of. If someone's got a stack of 50 games and go, yeah, I bought that, CEX, Music Magpie, got that off eBay, got this, got that done. I'm like, well, what was the point in that? You know, I want to know why you bought that game. Are you going to play it? Is it any good? What are your memories of it? You know, and that, you know, I can't define it onto one sort of type of video. For me, the person has to be passionate and tell a story and get me to join in on their journey in what they're doing.
See, Golden makes a good point here. He says here, I would counter this argument with the thrill of the hunt and finding oddities to try.
I don't mind that part of the video when they find in the games and like the charity shop bit. Like I don't mind that bit. It's just
that's cool.
backed up.
You know, we all pick up games we never played before, don't we? And want to try them out.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they might not even be like that anymore. but I just don't watch them anymore because that's kind of what I'm expecting is going to happen. So
I think it depends on who it is. Like Scott said, if the guy's passionate and knows his stuff, if the guy's doing a pickups video and he's got a bunch of games, half of the ones have got nostalgia for him, the other half are curiosities.
Yeah,
he's exploring the system. I picked this up. It was recommended by another YouTuber. I'm really looking forward to playing
different.
it. I mean, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you've backed it up
every single game. You know, but it all depends on who's presenting it and what they're like. You know, it's just if you're coming across as false anyway, then it's hard for us to believe that person watching. You know what I mean? Or get excited with that person.
Definitely.
You know, it all depends on how you come across, I suppose, doesn't it? If you
That's
don't
just where it divides the hobbyists, the people that are real passionate about the hobby, about retro gaming, and then you've got the sort of more, you've got the more shallow audience, the one that's clicking on that video because they want to see how much the game's worth, don't really care about the game, and that's a big audience. At the end of the day, on YouTube, there's a massive audience of people that will click on your video because you put a thumbnail of CX, pound signs, you chucking money everywhere. You're going to get an awful lot more viewers on that.
So, Alex.
I agree, mate. Me, well, for me, we might find it's quite funny. I mean, I don't like to put a nation of people into a category or anything, but the Americans, right? The Americans do so many things brilliantly, and then they do some things really badly, right? And the videos that I can't stand, the ones they do, are the ones on unidentified flying objects.
You're going to get Lisa right now.
And the secrets of the Great Pyramids, you know. I'm really fascinated in pyramids and how they were stupid American narrating it. And it just sounds so cheap and just comes across so badly. I just like switch off every single time. And it's the same with UFOs as well. How many fucking UFO videos have they done? They always
do you like the Ghost Hunter ones as well?
They never land in the UK. They always land in America.
They landed in Ipswich.
Yeah, Rendlesham.
Yeah, Rendlesham Forest.
I was there.
Yeah. They're the worst.
You live on the epics, don't you, Scott?
Minecraft videos presented by little kids. They're the worst ones for me. You know, can't stand those kind of videos. I switch off. Gaming related ones, I guess over edited ones for me when they're too over edited.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's not into that at all. But other than that, really, if I don't like something, I don't watch it. It's as simple as that.
Totally,
There's
exactly
so much on YouTube, isn't there? It's just like not just gaming, it's everything. Even sort of what your hobbies, like you were saying, Lee, golf. You watch golf. I'm sure there's terrible golf videos and great golf videos.
Yeah,
I like the bass guitar, so I do tuition videos on YouTube. Some amazing tuition videos. I've been looking for a guitar teacher for months. It's all on fucking YouTube. It's great. And but then there's really bad ones on there, you know. It's just how whatever you like, really, at the end of the day, isn't it? It's all personal preference. I guess it's a lot of these people that do these CX, people they do well. People do like them.
Yeah.
Because they are, and that's why they're doing them. They're doing them to get subs because certain amount of people like watching them. They're not for me, but they seem to be popular. You know, otherwise no one would be jumping on the bandwagon. Everyone's jumping on the bandwagon because they can see their sub count going up, you know. But again, there's some people that do it really well. Some people do it really badly, you know.
Yeah.
All depends who's presenting it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
no, totally.
The personality behind it,
Personality behind it, yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Only the good shine through at the end of the day, and they're the ones that go off to be these successful YouTubers that they want to be, you know, if that's what you're into.
Yeah. Right, Si.
Well, I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room here, and that is the absolute rubbish show. It's on every other or every couple of Sundays called Swap Shop.
It's once a month,
only
so I
joking,
suppose every couple of weeks, mate.
I thought you was I was going to say something else then, but the person just dropped into the comments, so I'm not going to say it now.
No, as I said, I just had to put that in there.
The best
never
shot,
saying
only
that,
good channel one.
I've forgotten what I was going to say now because I did actually
Bless
have a
your
point,
heart,
but now
Sly.
it's completely forgot about it. Yeah, that's it. Considering we're doing it now, right? There are certain live streams that I just cannot watch. You really have to have. There are some that you go on and you sit there for 5 minutes and you go, I'm putting this on because I want to be entertained, but you're making me fall asleep. You know what I mean? This is the problem. There are a lot of live streams like that. And the thing is, I think anyone can do a live stream, but you need to have a bit of chemistry, a bit of interaction, a bit of, something about it that's going to keep me entertained. I know you're going to talk about subjects that are going to entertain me. I mean, I like BattleBots, and I watch a lot of BattleBots streams and stuff like that, and previews and all the rest of it. And I really like that. It's not for everyone, but that's my thing. But when we're talking earlier as well about pickup videos, I echo what you guys said on that some pickups videos, again, just make me want to fall asleep. So, yeah, live streams. I mean, what do you guys think? Are the live streams that you just can't watch, or?
Yeah, there's some. I mean, there's a couple that I used to start watching because I knew a couple of the people in it. They were American, by the way, and they were arcade collectors, but it was so boring. It was all nuts and bolts, talking.
You want to support people sometimes. You just like, I can't.
Really, really boring. But obviously there is, some people that like that kind of stuff because some people watch it. That's what I mean. There's stuff for everybody on YouTube, isn't there?
There is.
What
do I say? YouTube's about you.
Right. I'm not just saying this because he's just put something nice about Swap Shop, but watching Martin's videos when he paints figures, like, honest, seriously, my wife said to me, "What are you doing in there? Why are you watching some man paint?" Because she thought I was like Bob Ross, and I was like, and I said to her, "No, it's Martin." She went, "Your mate Martin, the one who does all the game," and he goes, "What's he painting? The walls?" I said, "No, he's come and have a look." And she saw already like he's painting these figures. She went, "Oh, he's quite good, isn't he?" I said, "Yeah." He's very attractive as well. She went, "I'll be the judge of that." I said, "All right, okay." But yeah, no, I love his vids. Like when he's painting, I'm like, "Fucking hell, mate!" It's very emotional.
Relaxing.
I was getting aroused as well at the same time. So
he always has to lower the tone, doesn't he?
I'm sorry.
But he's very relaxing though, watching Martin when he's doing that. Like I said, I think I said it on the Micromaniacs on Monday last week. That he's very similar to what you get from watching fish in a fish tank. You just chill out, Yeah. I do enjoy watching his
I enjoy his gaming streams as well. I really enjoy them.
And the quiz as well, by the way. I love the quiz as well. I'm not the
quiz.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, look, Paul, I hate to fucking say it. I do like the quiz. I'm sorry, mate. I do like it. I just wish you'd stop fucking talking.
So do I sometimes, but I just can't.
And the number 7, I think the number 7 with you is a classic. I love it. I fucking love it.
I've been doing all right recently.
No, you've been doing good, mate.
Until you add them up at the end.
Oh, yeah.
The adding up's even better because he's like...
I haven't getting it right yet.
I got 24. Good question.
Right.
Good question.
It was a very good question. Right, let's take that down. I don't think we're going to have time for my question because
right at the 2-hour mark. That's actually
we've had a good chat. We
have. So I'll save my one for the next one. But so shall we go round and just say what we got coming up, Lee?
You come back to him last.
I put a short up today of the games room update.
Did you see it, Paul? Did you see his short?
Yeah, I did a little short.
I saw the picture of it and then scrolled straight past.
See what I mean, filthy animal. I've got loads of stuff. I've got so much stuff I want to show, but I'm hoping to be in the games room in a couple of weeks' time. So I want to do filming of me building the bookcase. Well, I'm getting my brother to build them. I'm just going to film him build them.
Pedro just said you've got a wrestling stream tomorrow.
We have. Yes, we have got wrestling. So that's not my video, is it? But we've got a wrestling stream tomorrow, which I will be on, which will be fantastic because it's a good crack, and I can swear a lot more on Pedro's channel because he don't give one. No, I want to start filming the games room getting put together. I'm looking forward to that. It's been a long time coming. Hopefully, like Lee and a few of the guys can get over and like give me a hand. Just a bit of banter in that, innit? I'm not one of them people who film too much. I mean, just when I went to Scott's birthday, I didn't film at Scott's birthday. I didn't film when I went to Lee's house. I'm not that kind of person.
You couldn't film at my birthday. You was doing the barbecue. You was doing all the cooking. You didn't have time.
Sweating, mate. I'm sweating. But no, I'm not that kind of. Like if I'm out with my mates, I'm not like there's a camera. But anyway, let's see. Maybe a pickup vid. I've got some stuff to do. Who knows? But yeah, wrestling tomorrow, which would be good fun. So yeah, thank you, Lee. Good hosting, mate. Thank you to Alex as well.
Yes. Scott, what you got coming up?
Wow. I've got quite a lot planned. I'm working in the background with a very good YouTuber. I'm not going to say what it's called yet. No, we're going to be doing a live stream all about Super Nintendo and Mega Drive. So I'll leave that to you to decide who that's with. No, it's with Alex Nintendo Arcade. We're working really hard on the 16-Bit Wars, which was a series that actually me and Alex talked about when he done my Games Room tour. So it was quite a few years ago.
Wow.
And obviously with all how live streaming and StreamYards got really popular, we thought that would be a good concept to put it in. So we've got that in the pipeline. Really looking forward to that. There's going to be loads of banter. It's going to be really good.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, mate. Really can't wait to do this.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to be on the Swap Shop. I haven't been on the Swap Shop this year, so I'm going to be on that. And also, I'm just going to make sure I do some more regular content because I've kind of taken what with having COVID, setting up the shop. I've just got back off a family holiday, which has rejuvenated me a bit. So I need to be doing my Turbo Outrun video. That's my next video that's got to be done. And there's going to be plenty of Spectrum and Sega content to come.
Nice. Awesome. Right, Alex.
I haven't done a video for about a month now, but I do have one uploading. It's taken over a day to upload.
Small video then.
How many hours is that?
It's 91% done, and that when did I start it? Yesterday at some point. I don't know why it's taking so long. I'm really frustrated with it. Maybe
it's on Talk or something.
So yeah, that's a channel update. So that'd be nice to get that up. I just need a little bit of a break from it. Had a bit of a lull on YouTube, and I think everyone can get that, can't they? Just
we all have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be nice to get that back up. I've got a quiz with Paul, haven't I?
Wow.
Which I'm looking forward to. Well, I don't know if I am looking forward to because I'm terrible at quizzes. I'm up
Alex, the record you got to beat is 4. That's the lowest, so you can do that.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it just me and Sunny, Steve, Paul?
You've got Super Jim Tendo as well.
Oh, he's rubbish. He's rubbish.
It's not as bad as you think.
He's rubbish.
It's not as bad as you think either, because I remember when I went on, I was worried I wasn't going to get anything, and you'd be surprised how much you actually.
Nah, you done good, man. You done good.
So it's surprising when you get down to it.
On your computer stuff, Spectrum I'm okay on, but we'll see. I'm trying to hint to Paul, some arcade questions.
The hint I need is a bottle of wine in the post. We've already discussed the address, so you can have anything you want. Basically,
right? It's on its way, mate. It's on its way. And I'm really excited about doing this thing with Scott. We've talked about it for so long.
Yeah.
Two consoles that we're both really passionate about, and it'd be good to go back in time to see when they were really competing with each other, and see what the magazines were saying about the consoles at the time, and looking at the adverts, the competition, and what swayed each of us to sort of pick up the games that we did and the consoles that we did back in the day. So yeah, that'd be really cool. And you know, maybe I'll do another game room tour soon. I've got one guy interested, but they're getting harder and harder to find people to do. To be honest with you,
well, it's the cost of diesel as well, isn't it? Christ, you got to pay
well,
travel.
I don't mind traveling. To be honest with you, it's just getting people to come forward. It's quite difficult. And I
Hobby Lodge,
understand.
told you Hobby Lodge, you need to get
Hobby
there.
Lodge, definitely. You know, and Lee, who's got his games room finished, he'd be on the list, definitely.
God knows what the price of fuel will be when it's finished.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's it, really.
Cheers, Alex. Si, what you got coming up?
Well, at the moment, I'm just on a real like Atari 2600 kick. At the moment, I haven't played the Atari for like almost 2 years, and I hooked it up a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just really enjoying finding out the games and comparing them with Spectrum games, like I did Yard's Revenge the other day. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing a couple of those videos, and I've also got, they said, the Fairchild Channel F and the Aquarius coming, so there's going to be a fair few videos on them, just discovering the systems and, you know, seeing were they as bad as people say they are. And the Aquarius is great because the Aquarius has got a big homebrew scene with it as well. There's so many games being made for it, and like SD card solutions and stuff like that, that I want to know that this console sound like Lee now, this computer that came out that was only sold for 3 months and was like a complete flop, what people can do with it now. So yeah, I don't see many people talking about the Aquarius, and I'm looking forward to it, to be honest, because it's new to me.
Be new to me as well. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone playing one of them, so it'd be good to see. Yeah,
it comes with the actual joysticks, which is the main thing as well. The weird thing is the joystick add-on for that doesn't just do joysticks; it actually adds 2 extra sound channels as well.
Wow,
you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's weird.
All right, Paul.
So tomorrow at 7:45 on my channel, I've got a premiere, and it is for this game that I played today, and that is Redshift.
Yes,
nice.
Spectrum. I've heard
Redshift and Bitmap.
Lots and lots of good things about it. So yeah, finally today was the first time I played it, and I must admit, I absolutely, it's a cracker. It really is a cracking game. So that's tomorrow at 7:45. Should just finish in time to jump on the wrestling straight after. And then on Wednesday, of course, like Alex said, I'm hosting Alex, Cine Steve, and Super Jim Tendo on the quiz. So three very knowledgeable guys about very different subjects and what have you. So yeah, looking forward to that. And also, me and OSG, we're going to be doing a collaboration video on a top 20. So,
that'd be good.
I have been getting a little bit of practice in with top 10s and stuff like that. So,
let me guess, is it going to be Commodore 64 with you two?
Well, you'll just have to wait and see. You might be surprised. You might be surprised. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with him and doing that. And I think that's probably going to be the next thing. When we sort out some time to do it. But yeah, I'm getting back into my homebrew. I'm going to be doing a lot more homebrew reviews again. And then yeah, that's pretty much me for the time being. That'll keep me out of mischief.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that one with OSG, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm sure that'll be a really good video.
It's good how like we're going to do it as well. It's something that I've never tried before. So it'll be interesting to see if it works.
Ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong.
Right, so for me, I finally got my Amiga Mini. I've been waiting for payday. A bit of a long story, but yeah, I had the money, then I didn't have the money, and waited till payday, then got it. So I got mine about a week after everyone else. So not going to bore anyone with an unboxing because let's be honest, you've all seen millions of them already. So
do one like I did. Just hit the box upside down.
Oh yeah, like you did. Yeah. Still can't believe you did that.
You're going to mod it, Lee, are you? You're gonna mod it so you've got like all the games on it, or
I'll get a USB stick, yeah, and use the WHD load on it. Yeah, I will do that because there's quite a few Amiga games that I loved back in the day that aren't on the system. You know, like IK Plus and games like that. So Lemmings, that's another one. Cannon Fodders, they're not on there. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing that. But yeah, I think I'll probably do a gameplay vid at some point. I'm waiting for a homebrew game to come. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? There was something else that was right in the forefront. Oh, that's it. Right. So I've been working on a video. Paul knows what I'm talking about here. I've been working on it for a couple of months, trying to get the script right and work out how I'm going to do it. It kind of relates to what Si was talking about earlier with one of his videos. So yeah, I haven't done it yet because I did mention it, I think, a couple of months back on a stream, but I'm just trying to get it right, just to perfect it and get all the details right, because there's a lot of research.
A lot of interest in history.
Yeah. So it's just getting it like 100% spot on, you know. I don't want to release it and then find that something I put in there is wrong, you know. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to doing that because I think that'll be a really good video once I've got it all nailed down. So yeah, that's it for me at the moment. So right. Anything anyone else want to say before we end this?
I forgot. Sorry, this Saturday the 23rd is Ali's Street Fighter 2 Turbo tournament that I will be attending and winning £100. Thank you. And obviously Sunday is Swap Shop. Yeah, as well. Just forgot. I forgot about those. Oh,
you got to mention that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
you never do a stream without mentioning Swap Shop. What's going on here?
Well, I'm trying to be more respectful. I'm trying to change my ways. I found the Lord Jesus Christ.
Too late.
Right. Okay. So, anyone else? Anything else you want to say before I end it?
No, it's all good. Thanks.
Take that as a no.
See you guys on Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. Right now, tradition
Brilliant
is on Micromaniacs. We've all got to do a stupid like game show wave at the end. So get ready, guys. Game show wave.
Hello,
Here
Mum.
we go.